This is your video for your skills assessment. So you have to follow each one of the steps and create the figure 3-55, which is the gasket. So you're going to switch your layers over to your object lines if you haven't already done so, and that's what you'll start with. So we're going to start out with a square. That's going to be 2.13 all the way around. So you're going to use a rectangle for that. And I suggest using a rectangle instead of lines because it'll be a little bit easier in the end. So we're just going to do 2.13, hit the tab key, 2.13, and hit the enter button. Now, our next step is to rotate it. We're going to pick a corner, and we're going to type in 45 for the degree. All right, so our next step, we're going to draw a line across the middle, and we're just going to make it a little bit longer than what we need. We're just going to center it by using our tracking system. You can also do it mid between 2 points, and it'll work just the same. So if you grab it, select it, hold down the shift key, right mouse click, do mid between 2 points. It does the same thing. Okay, our object is 7.5 inches long. So from one end to the next is 3.75 offset. So we're going to go ahead and make a line across the middle also, just so. Do both our horizontal and vertical offsets. So those are going to be offsetting vertical and up and down 2.25. So the vertical line is going to be offsetting 3.75, and these are going to be offsetting 2.25. So we're going to go ahead and do our offsets. So we're going to click on our offset or type in the letter O, hit the enter button, and we're going to do our first one, which is 3.75. So we're going to type that in, hit the enter button, click to the right and click to the left. Then, in order to get our other one, we're going to do offset again. I'm going to replace 3.75 number with 2.25. Enter button. I'm going to click up and down. Okay, so our next thing we want to do is actually put in our little bells at the end. So we're going to close these up on the ends by using extend. So we're going to just click on it, hit the drop down next to trim, click on extend, hit the enter button.
Good afternoon. Ms. Walden, if you're still in the building, please join out.
And we're going to use extend to close these up. All right, since we got a few little pieces hanging off the edges, we can use trim for that. Do TR, hit the enter button twice. We'll cut off all the excess. Okay, so next we'll be utilizing our offset. And we're going to offset down 1.13. So we're going to be offsetting the top line down 1.13. And we're going to rotate that line 30 degrees. All right. Now, since it has to go this way, it's actually going to be negative 30. Okay, so we'll do a little trimming. And I'm going to select trim and then hit the enter button. Now, we can repeat that same step all the way around, but we can also use mirror. So with mirror, we're just going to select the object and we're going to line up with the center or pick a point that's on the center line here in the middle. So click once, hit the enter button to trim to mirror that to the other side. So here again, we're just going to trim. So you click on trim and hit the enter button, or you can type in TR, hit the enter button twice. All right, so next we'll do the same thing for the bottom. We hit the enter button. After we select it, we'll go to the middle and we'll turn our ortho on. So if you're moving freely about, remember that you can lock your mouse into place by using the ortho command. So we'll go to the left or to the right and click once, hit the enter button once. And again, using trim. And so next, we're going to take our middle line here. We'll stretch it out a little bit. We're going to offset it 0.50 up and down. And then we're going to offset this line 1.50 inside. All right, so we no longer really need all these extra lines here. So we can kind of get rid of those. And we're just going to do a little trimming. Click on trim, hit the enter button. And we're just going to start cutting off all the stuff that we don't need here. And of course, you can guess what the last thing is the mirror. So we're going to mirror these 3 lines. Enter. We'll pick a base point. Right at the top of this diamond. Move our mouse up or down. Click once, hit the enter button once. And last but not least, we'll use trim again. And that is the completed gasket. So our last step is to just place a few dimensions on it that are on the paper. So we'll use dimension, and all of these dimensions are linear with the exception of 1. So I'm just going to drag it up. Do the same thing on the opposite side. We're just going to go to the middle. In order to line this up perfectly, we'll just touch this one over here on this side. And we'll do an overall. One end to the next. I'm going to drag this up, put it above. align this one. I'm touching the other one that's already here. All right, so our last two are aligned and angular. This one's going to be 90 degrees. It should be 45 because we didn't put the center line in, so we're not going to even worry about putting that one. So we are going to do the one here. And that is it. So last but not least, we'll copy our title blocks that we already have. And we'll place it around this one. And we try to get it as centered as much as possible. And we'll change the title. Change the date. Scale is 1:1. First period drawn by last but not least, you're going to export this as a PDF. So you're going to give it a file name. So it's skills assessment. Dash your name. And you're going to come here, you're going to choose window. So if it's still on display, hit window. If it pops back onto the screen, you'll find. If it doesn't, then you'll click on the little square next to window, and you'll make a window from one corner to the next. Make sure that you actually touch the title block when you do this. All right, and then you'll hit save, and it'll blink. And once it does that, you are complete with that particular one. So your next step is just to upload it on Schoology. Inside a week 4 folder. Skills assessment. And it's rolling. So that you're going to turn in the actual PDF file. So we'll be counting out the test grade, so you have to make sure that you are actually turning in a correct file. And that is it. So it should be at the top of your folder in week 4.